Good evening, everyone. Today I will be presenting Module 5, Vendors and Purchasing, presented by me, Bethany Frazier. In today's video, I will be discussing the library vendors that I have selected for this project, as well as the purchases I made and the justification for those purchases. So, starting with the library vendors, for book selection, I chose Bound to Stay Bound books as I have worked with this company before and have found their customer service exceptional. And I really like the fact that if a book becomes damaged, and as long as this vendor has it in their inventory, they will replace that book for free as long as it stays in their inventory, which is great for if a book becomes damaged. I have not purchased through Capstone or Follett before, but both of these are very familiar to librarians and have quality items. Now, in regards to furniture selection, Lakeshore is one of my favorite to get flexible seating arrangements, such as I did make a purchase a few years ago for a very bright couch, and it is still in great condition even after having moved to 3 different locations in the school, as well as moving to a new campus. So I think that it holds up very well. I have not purchased anything through the library store or school outfitters, but after researching both of these companies, they did have a wide range of different furniture options that I thought would be really beneficial to a librarian. Now, in regards to makerspace materials, Demco being one of the largest and most familiar website for librarian products, I also really enjoyed their makerspace selections and the options that they provide. Um, Maker Maven, I recently attended a training where a representative from Maker Maven gave demonstrations and ideas for using STEM in the library. And it is a website that I hope to use in the future because it has so many different, it has Kubos, it has, I think, Bbots and things like that that can be purchased through this website. And I also chose Lego Education. Lego Education is now getting into the STEM space for schools and provides STEM kits and Lego kits. And I was able to work with some students this past year on some of the Lego kits, and they were really great and worked really well. So I hope to continue to use Lego Education in the future. Now, in regards to technology, Mac and Via and Britannica have some great, Mac and Via has some really cool audio books and ebook selections that I would like to look at in the future for future purposes. And Britannica is for research, Britannica School specifically, and it has elementary, middle, and high school options and different pricing for those different levels that are developmentally appropriate for conducting research. And one of the new things that I will be using is this year actually is Beanstack. Beanstack is a website slash app where students can track their reading and achieve different badges and different goals. And one of the things that I like is the librarian can promote reading engagement through this app slash website, and it will help promote school-wide reading engagement. And I haven't used it quite yet, but I'm still learning about it. But I think it will be a great use of students using the service to track their reading and achieve their reading goals. So, for supplies and decorations, Scholastic provides a lot of bookmarks and different reading incentives and prizes through the Scholastic store. Oriental Trading for bulk craft supplies for those STEM maker spaces and art projects that are very cheap, as well as Michaels. I know it's not just primarily for librarians and teachers, but they do give teacher discounts with their badge. And so when buying craft supplies, Michaels is always a go to for me. Now, when I was thinking about items that I wanted to purchase for my future library, one of the items that I needed to have through Capstone is they are in charge of Pebble Go, which is kind of a research, kind of like Britannica, another research database, and they have this Pebble Go Gold, which is $2,399 a year for the subscription. It includes 5 Pebble Go modules, animals, health, and safety, and among other things, as well as this package comes with 2 add-on products, which is the Pebble Go in Espanol, which, if you have been in library services, you know that finding resources in Spanish or another language in general is really difficult to find. So I really, really love Pebble Go for that. For starting a makerspace, as someone who is not um, who is kind of not as experienced with makerspaces, this Kubo coding starter set comes with everything you need to get started at $225, and that is through Maker Maven. And they also sell different extensions and kits for the Kubo, so I really liked that. Um, Continuing with databases, Mac and Via provides a subscription to Comics Plus, which is an app that students can use to log in and read ebooks and basically comics. And students love Comics Plus. I have had reluctant readers who will not check out a library book, but they will read through Comics Plus. So the books are highly engaging and digital, and there's a digital bookshelf that the students can save the books that they've read or are currently reading. So I have the middle school and the elementary school version of this because my new campus will be a kinder through 8th grade campus. So I felt like I needed to purchase both. Continuing with the purchases through Lakeshore, one of the things that I found was this Flex Space comfy. There's 4 chairs um, with the desk and power zone. And I like this flexible seating options because it has the desk where they can put a laptop or tablet, but also it has on the side the charging stations that come with it. So they can plug in right there where they're sitting and continue to work on their projects. So I thought that was, while it's the most expensive thing on my list at $4,649, I think it is worth it because you can move it around. The kids can sit next to each other, move it by themselves, whatever they need to do. Also, Oriental Trading for those bulk supplies, I chose a 180 piece paint kit for creating art and literacy projects. I know that a lot of emphasis right now is still on STEM, but also connecting it to other things such as art through literacy is really important to me. So I found that kit for $44.99. And the last thing I would purchase would be from the library store. It is a magnetic right and white mobile cabinet. So it has that magnetic option. The students can write on it, but it's also a movable storage for all of those STEM pieces and things that students will be using to hold the materials, put them away, and make the library look nice and neat. And in total, the total amount spent for all of those purchases would comes out to $9,969.94 before taxes. So within $30 of the $10,000 limit. So, some of the things that I thought about when I was selecting those materials, one of the big things that I want to teach students is about research. And the Pebble Go and Comics Plus subscriptions are essential for me for two reasons: to engage learners in research at their appropriate level, and Pebble Go does a really good job of making it developmentally appropriate, as well as engaging reluctant readers. And anytime you can use an app, a website, an ebook, an audiobook to engage those reluctant readers, um, then I find that app, website, whatever it is, to be essential. So I've used both of these services before, and I also like how they are user friendly and students are able to navigate them easily. Another reason I selected some of these purchases was for collaboration and engagement for students. We know that flexible spaces are providing that comfortable environment to bring students into the library where they can do research, read on their own, collaborate on projects, whether that's academic or not. The flex space chairs allow students to use their devices with the charging stations embedded into the furniture. The Kubo coding starter set allows students to engage in fun coding projects while learning, and the paint kit allows freedom of expression through art and literacy. And the last thing is storage. We know we want the library to be nice and neat at the end of the day and to know where all the materials are, and that mobile cabinet will allow patrons to write, store, and for the librarian to be able to move it around and store those materials. So it has many benefits. And in the end, today I discussed several things, one of them being the vendors and why I selected those vendors. I also went over the list of items for purchasing along with the cost of those said items, and I provided the justification on the selection of items in my future library. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.